What's going on, YouTube? And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Texas Street Stories. And if you haven't already subscribed, help your boy out and hit the subscribe button. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Partido, Revolucionario, Mexicano, also known as the PRM. It is an organized prison gang operating in Mexico and Texas. This gang is comprised of mainly Mexican nationals, many of whom were illegal aliens who committed crimes in Texas and were subsequently deported once they were released from prison. Deported PRM members often re-enter the United States and establish themselves as members in Texas. PRM members allow U.S. citizens to become members of the gang in order to maintain their presence in Texas and eliminate the possibility of deportation. Their symbols: the Mexican flag, Mexican male with the sombrero and the tequila or mezcal bottles, borrachos, mezcal, revolucionarios, PRM, pura raza mexicana, y Estados Unidos Mexicanos. Well, my personal experience with them when I was locked up, this is back in 2002. I was at the WIN unit in medium custody from 2002 all the way to 2004. I was a short timer. I only had a 3-year sentence from 2001 to 2004. But I was at the WIN unit from 2002 all the way to 2004 in medium custody. So during my time at the WIN unit, it was a wide open unit. What I mean wide open unit, which means everybody was making money. Every organization that was there was making money. Everybody. From Tango, from the PRM, anybody that was out in population was making money. The farmers that could stay under the radars, they were making money. But mostly if you were in population, you were making money. The money in there, like anywhere else, is tobacco, liquor, drugs. That's current. That's where the money's at. So on this occasion, I'm in medium custody, and the PRM and the Mexicanos, the Paisas, they're basically all one organization. They all will kick it together. But the PRM is like more of a Fama type. They're the upper. The Mexicanos are under them. But they're all basically one. So you got to take in consideration that these guys got locked up for doing either smuggling people, smuggling drugs. So, and essentially, they if they're not the plug, they know who the plug is. It's like you want to be cool with these guys, because maybe you want to make contacts when you get out, and these guys can lead you on the path to where you want to go. They have already got connections. And one member from PRM, when I was in medium custody, his name was Nopal. He did my chest piece. He was all tatted up Mexican, but he had a weird looking face. He had like one eye smaller than the other one. He looked, you can say, menacing, if anything. So he's, at the WIN unit, it's 2-man cells, 200 men per block. There's A and B. At the time that I was there was for medium. They also have SEG back there, administration segregation, which is minimum, medium, and I think and SEG no close custody at the time that I was there. So like I said, everybody's making money. Tango's making money. Mexicles, PRM's making money. Everybody's dealing and wheeling with everybody. Everybody's dealing and wheeling. I know this for a fact. Because in another story that I'm gonna drop, I'm gonna talk about the money, the actual cash money that's actually in there, that I actually held in my hands. But that's another topic. There is money to be made in there. There is money. I seen that firsthand, and that's going to be for another story. But for this story, the PRM on this situation, and it involved the PRM and two cellies, a black dude and a white dude that were cellies. Okay. Everybody knows that when you go to church, it's either to do some foul stuff. Nobody up at church is really up there to get the gospel. Everybody's up there to, scheming, plotting and scheming, transactions. It's the church up in prisons are really up to no good. You got punks meeting up punks up there. You got transactions going on. It's a meetup spot. Where everybody from different blocks can meet up and do their transactions. So somehow these two cellies thought it in their head that they could pull a fast one on the PRM and on the paisas. They thought by pulling out. Back then, you used to get these magazines from like Maximum. There was this other one. There's these few magazines that you used to be able to get, and in these magazines, sometimes there would be these fake money vouchers that looked like money, but they were fake vouchers, but they had the resemblance of $100 bill or a $50 bill. So these guys took it upon. They thought it was a genius idea to take one of those out of the magazines, crumble it up, make it look like a worn, passed out $100 bill, like it's been circulated. And when you go to do these transactions at church, it's not like it's a wide open transaction. You're trying to, catch minimal attention to what you're doing. So it's, the smaller the package is, the quicker it is for you to conceal. And you're not like right there in the streets when somebody gives you money. You right there, you look at it, you make sure it is what it is. No, you basically put it in your pocket. You go do that when you go to your cell. Then that's when you check if it's real or not. So they went up to the meeting spot up at the church. They did the transaction. They passed off what they had to do. They got the packs. They got the dip. They got it. They got their stuff. The PRM thought they had got paid, but when they got back to their cell, they realized that it's a fake $100 bill. It was a fake $100 bill. We came about because in Texas prisons, when something's about to happen, out of respect, all the other organizations are let known, hey, we're about to take care of business. It doesn't affect you. Just basically stay out the way. We're about to kick it off, but it's not against you. Just basically out of respect. Just basically stay out the way. Ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Just letting us know. So on this occasion, they weren't gonna let it slide by. So by the next day, we're coming back from chow, the last chow, because I'm gonna meet him custody. And last chow was the time they would let us out for the remainder of our 4 hours. We'd come back from chow from, I think maybe it was from either five or six, and then from the rest we would get our 4 hours from there. On the weekends it would be earlier. It would be like around 2 or 3 that would let us out for the remainder of the day. 4 hours, we would get locked up by 6. On the weekends it was always early. They would always rack us up early on the weekends, but on the weekdays we'd get afternoons. So on this occasion, we're coming back from the last chow, ready to get day room. Everybody's in the day room back waiting for chow. You know, all the homeboys got all right at the tables waiting. You know, we waiting for the TVs to get turned on. You know, we just everybody's meeting up at the tables. So by this time, you know, one of my homeboys comes up and he's all serious. You know, cause we're over at the table bullshitting, clowning, playing dominoes, talking shit. You know, but the facial expression that he had was just like, oh man, something's about to go down. So you know, we get up and he's like, hey, you know, something's about to kick off. You know, just stay over here. You know, don't go past right now till it ends. It's about to kick off in a little bit. Just stay where you're at. You know, they already know they're not gonna come past over here. They're gonna restrain it to where it's at. You know, now if it has no choice, we'll move. But they already know. So everybody's coming in from Chow. They're making the in and out. So the people that didn't go to Chow, they're coming down from the rows to go into the day room. So the white dude and the black dude's nowhere. He didn't come out. He stayed up. He stayed inside. And this is a pretty big dude. He's a pretty big white dude, but he's a sloppy white dude, like a fat sloppy white dude. You know, like not muscular, but he was just a big fat white slob. You know, his celly was a black dude that was pretty. You know, he was kind of built. You know, but he wasn't really like something to be scared of. You know, so on this occasion, the white dude, he's sitting on the gambling table, ready to play knock. You know, he thinks he got over on these dudes, cause these dudes ain't on his block. But just like everywhere else, you got homeboys on every block. So once the word got passed down to their people that were in medium custody, the word was already done. They passed it around. They said, "Hey, we're about to handle business," you know. So the dude's sitting down, ready to start playing knock and gamble. So one of the paisas, I can't remember his name, man, but he was big. He was a big dude, man. He was a big dude. He walks up to the dude and just slaps the shit out of the dude. But during the process of him slapping him, he got the motor of the fan in his hand. So the first slap just split his pussy open. Just gave him a pussy right on his side. On the side of his eye, just started gushing. And another one just on top of his head. He popped him like 3, 4, 5 times, man, but the dude didn't go down. I give him that, man. He didn't go down. He didn't go down. But by that time, the dude wasn't fighting back, but he got up. And he started walking towards the windows, you know. And once he walked up to the windows, that was it. You know what I mean? He was pouring in blood. His head was split open. You know, there was nothing's going on there. You know, they automatically they racked us all up. You know, but by that time, you know, the SSI probably took the weapon away. It was never found. You know. Because the dude got removed, he got sent off to the medical unit. The dude that did it, he remained on the unit. He remained on the same block that we were on. You know, because he still had one more to go. He still had that other black dude to hit up. But the black dude was already caught on. He's like, fuck, they done fucked up my celly. So he was on point. He didn't catch out. He was just waiting for them. You know, he knew they were coming. He knew. He was waiting. So this dude, he was waiting too. He knows this guy's on point, but he has to do it. So a few days later, the black dude's gambling, and the same dude that did the white dude was trying to put a sneaky one on him. He tried to sneak him, but this dude was on point. You know, he was already expecting it. So the dudes, they start getting into it, boom, 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 and they're both of equal size, you know. So it's a good fight. The PRM, he falls, you know. Once he falls, the black dude steps on his knee, and his knee just bends, just like he breaks his fucking knee. I mean, because the dude, Later on, I see the dude. He's walking down with the fucking a whole knee cast. You know what I mean? Like he broke his knee, and that was it for that guy. You know, he was out to fight. You know, he was out to fight, and the black dude, you know, he got the upper hand on that one because he was already expecting it. You know, he was expecting it. You know, but he did take care of business with the white dude on the first one. You know, he did catch the first one. You know, he did give that dude a couple of pussies on his face and on his head. You know, it was a. You know, they come in there and start investigating and start threatening people about locking them up. You know, hey, we know you've seen something. You know, you better tell us something. You know, like they try to tell me like that. You know, but I'm like, man, look, dude, I'm a short timer. Whatever you're gonna do, I'm already in meeting custody. What are you gonna do? You know, I'm going home this day. I don't know what happened. It ain't none of my business. You know, and that's just the way it goes. You know, the dudes thought they could get away by passing off fake money for some buglers and some dip, and they got what they were coming. You know, you should have done straight up business. That's the way it's always done, you know. But thank you for tuning in, and that's my story on the PRM that I personally experienced at the Win Unit in 2002, maybe 3, but I was there from 2002 2004. I got a couple of other stories, you know, from my experience there in meeting custody. You know, I will be dropping another video about the cash experience, you know, that I seen in there and actually took out the, you know. I'll be more in detail in my next video. Thank you for tuning in.